What do you think of this then? This was the Wensum, but at the moment it's under about 8 feet of dirty brown water, and we're on the worst summer flood in the valley in living memory. Very difficult conditions these. This was supposed to be a stream programme, but we've come to this Weir pool. It's very difficult. There's flood water everywhere, there's rubbish everywhere, there's blanket weed coming down, all the wildflowers along the margins are under the water, but I'm sure we can find a slack to fish somewhere. Let's have a walk about, see what we can find. Look at this here, even these nasturtiums are under the water by about 4 feet. You won't be putting those in a salad. Lovely clump of the true bulrush here, quite unlike the common reed mace with the brown seed heads that everyone mistakes for bulrushes. The bulrushes are unmistakable with those onion-like stems that they've got. This is, or rather this was, one of my favourite swims. It's about 5 feet underwater at the moment. I like sitting on the end of the concrete sluice there. And here we've got about 20 foot of water swirling around. It's no good fishing here. But then it might be interesting to come back here in a few weeks to see what it's like, make a comparison. This is an interesting little spot in this corner. It's quite a deep, slow lay-by, and a lot of anglers would be misled if they fished here, because although it looks as though there might be some fish, this is 10 feet deep and 5 feet of it are lilies. This is absolutely enclosed in weed, this corner, and we can't fish there, unfortunately. Well, I don't know, I've been behind the mill house, I've been below the road bridge, but it looks as though the only slack water here is going to be in the pool itself, where it comes under the house there. It's normally only a few inches deep here, but at the moment it's probably something like 5 or 6 feet. We've got to catch a few roach and dace here, if nothing else. I've catapulted a few maggots in not so long ago and tested the depth. It's about 5 feet, and I've got a 2BB waggler on here. Let's try a couple of casters on. It's quite funny over there, all those apple trees covered in apples and floating with their trunks covered by 4 feet of water. Just a gentle draw on the water here. It's where it's running over the main lane where you drive into the mill. It's rippling over there quite heavy, and it's just causing a little tiny backflow. It's quite nice actually. The sun's very bright now. It really is lovely weather. So much nicer. A little tiny fish came up, and there it does again. It's just splodged my float twice. Little devil. If that isn't taking the juice, I don't know what is. I think my casters have got BO. Strange that, having picked up a couple of roach on that one line and then nothing else. I think the shoal's not too large. At first I thought there was a monstrous shoal down here, but I don't think there are that many fish, and they're just keeping moving about. When I do happen to get along their particular line of trot, I'll get the odd bite. Hello, I've got a little sprat on here. Well, I didn't see that, you little devil, you. Little dace, in you go. It's taken a long time for them to get onto casters, because I've been catapulting casters and maggots out now for some time, and they've only really just got onto the casters. It's funny, even though all these fish really, the sort of roach to ½ a pound and the little tiny fry, even though they're all relatively small fish, it's amazing how casters do tend to separate 8-inch fish from 2-inch fish. It's got that certain something about the bait, really. Well, here's another one. There's not a lot of flow here, but they're pulling nicely for small fish. This is a roach. No, it isn't. It's a dace. Hey, good sized dace as well. You don't catch many dace that size. Lovely. Put my finger down that one's throat to get the hook out there. There he is. Pretty fish in the sunlight. Right, let's try a little bit more to the left there. No, that's too far to the left. The wind caught that one. That's a bit better. It's funny that, I think the shoal's moved a little bit upstream there. Where I've been putting the bait in, I'm thinking that the surface drift, as it takes my float, is taking the casters further down. And of course, they're probably sinking quicker than I'd anticipated. I've just had a couple of fish there from the head of the trot, and I think that's where they're congregating. Come on, down you come. Any time now is the sort of I would expect them to go. Hello, here we are. We're in again. Oh, here's a roach. Oh, perhaps there are one or two good roach to be had down there. I'm picking them out instead of... Hello, this one looks as though it's been... Oh dear me. This one looks as though it's been chewed by a pike recently. Look at that. It's nasty, isn't it? It's part of nature though. It's a dog-eat-dog world in which these fish live. There's slits there where the pike's had his belly and his dorsal fin there. Oh look. Oh. He's gone back in by himself anyway. Hello, this is a better fish. Oh yes. Oh, definitely better. Don't lose this one, Wilson. Don't know what it is yet, but doesn't feel like a roach. Wonder what it is. Could be a bream or chub or something or other. It's a good fish anyway, whatever it is. It's the best we've hooked today. Let's hope a pike doesn't come up and grab it. Going quite well. Oh, it's a chub, I think. Looks like a chub anyway. Yes, it is a chub. I wonder why one of those hadn't turned up until... Hello, it's going very fast. I think there could be a pike down there after it. Let's look at that mouth, the way that mouth opens there. Let's beach him. Come on. There you are. Not very big, about £1.75, £2. Well, we caught one or two nice fish with the river in bad flood conditions. Now let's show you what it was like when we came back 1 week later. Well, here we are. We're coming into the pool now where I was fishing last week, and my, how the river's changed. This time last week it was absolutely flooded over the banks here. The water was chocolate brown, and now it's going clear again. It's still really a little bit high for this time of the year, August. I normally expect it to be much lower than this. Now let's see where I was actually fishing. I love pooling about in a canoe. I really ought to get out on the Wensum a lot more than I do. It's nice to find roach swims and chub and this, that and the other. Now that's where I was fishing, where that wall is. It's got to be at least 4 feet deeper now, because I was picking roach out of the water off the lawn there. It was quite handy. I really didn't need a landing net. A lot of weed here. That's why I wasn't able to sink the line. Look at that. There's an enormous, great big, thick lily bed here. Amazing, isn't it? I was trying to sink the line with that waggler, and it just wouldn't go in that crosswind. And I think under these two apple trees here, this is where I was fishing, and it was about 6 feet deep, and I was trotting along this wall. Actually, I could have gone a bit further there from the bank had I known, See what the depth is now. Look at that. It's not 2 feet, whereas it was 5 or 6 feet before. Yeah, because all this bank here, this whole lot was underwater. Those trunks were quite underwater as well, and the road there was all flooded. It's amazing how the river changes in just a week from normal conditions to floodwater. But this is part of the nice thing about Weir magic, really. You can, if you're careful and read the river like I like to when I go fishing, you can usually pick out a swim like we did last week for our floodwater swim. Well, this week we're going to try and fish the Weir properly, which is where I'm heading now. Right, let's pull the canoe up. I don't want to lose it. Tie it up here. Right, let's have a look at the pool. The levels really are up for this time of the year. That's a good foot of extra water there. It's quite clear though. I think the flood water's washed a lot of the old blanket weed away. In fact, in the winter, just this narrow run here close into the bank is normally a good day swim, but I've had the odd grayling there when the blanket weed's gone and it's a nice clean gravel bottom. Oh, the sun's really getting out bright now. I hope it doesn't make the water too clear. Remember this back eddy last week? It was nice and high and almost still, but because it's very misleading, there's loads of reeds and sedges which have now appeared. Some iris there. There's a lot of cabbage and ranunculus still on the bottom. Very misleading swim. There's also a couple of old logs, so it's too snaggy to fish at any time really. And all these nasturtiums last week were under the water. I wonder if there are any eels in the eel trap. Well, can't see. I think we'll have a little look later on. Ooh. Well, here we are. Here's the swim. Water's actually over the sluice here. That's really bombing through there as well. And it's getting quite warm. I think I'm going to take my jumper off. Ooh! Oh, that water really is coming down there. I've got a 4 swan shot fixed lead paternoster on here. Got me built-in quiver tip rod, size 10 hook, and I'm going to start with a lump of bread float. I've got some maggots and swim feeders should I not be able to find anything, but I think we're going to try for something big to start off with by offering a lump of bread flake. Can't beat flake in Weir pools. Sorts out the bigger fish, goes straight through the pain barrier. Now what I'm going to have to do for the first few casts is just feel my way around here. The flow's really coming in from the right. I think that's okay. If I've gone too far out, what it'll do, it'll smash it against that shingle bank, so I've got to be a bit careful. Just tighten up gently on the line there. Now the back end leads have hit the bottom and round it comes. Shouldn't really say lead because they're not lead, they're lead-free swan shots. It's funny, it hasn't made any difference at all swapping over to the non-toxics in the last 3 years. All this kerfuffle by some anglers that they can't manage with lead-free shots. It's not made the slightest bit, a little bit of difference to my fishing. Now that's just nice. It's lovely quiver tipping in Weir pools. You get clonking bites. Oh yes. Just drop back just a gnats there. I thought that was a bit of blanket weed first of all. This is really pulling. This isn't a roach. It's got to be a bream. Big old slab. There's some big ones in this pool. Oh, it's got enough flow there. There's not much I can do with it at the moment. Let's give it a bit of side strain this way. No, it's still not coming. Oh, I don't like this. I've got a lot of weed around the line, and yes, it is a bream. Oh, it's a good one too. Oh, it's not enormous, but oh, he's lovely. Look at that. Oh, gotcha. Look at the washing I've got on the line there. Oh, shoo. Oh, that's a nice looking fish. Let's open the bail. I'm all caught up here. It's terrible. I've got line everywhere. That's better. It's the trouble with this blanket weed. Well, that is a nice looking fish. Let's unhook him with a forceps. Oh, whoops, careful, careful. It's a bit precarious here unhooking them. I want you to drop back in before we've had a good look at you, do we? Oh, I love river bream. They've got all these lovely goldens and bronzes in them. Look at that. They've got these lovely purpley blue tail, dorsal and anal fins. They've got this lovely coppery golden flanks. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful fish? Whoops. Oh, no. Ought to be a juggler. Although it's clear as rivers go, it's still not that bad for August, and we could just tempt a big roach or a bream or something even in the middle of a day, despite the sunshine. Hello, here we go. Well, there's a little rustle then. That looked like the start of a drop back bite. I wonder if it was a small fish or was it a hello? Was it a bream nudging it? Yes, we're in. Oh, God. This feels like a good fish. Oh, it's really thumping around. I think it could be a good roach. Oh, it's getting in that current. That really is thumping. Trouble is, you've got to be so careful. Yes, I think it is a big roach as well. I've got so much weed around the line there. All that. Oh, it's a huge one. Oh, look at this. Oh, Wilson. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that roach. Oh, oh, that's over 2 pounds. Look at it. Well, I haven't had a roach from the river like this for ages and ages. I can't get the blanket weed off the line there. Oh, look at that fish. A clonking great roach that is. It's what the Wensome's famous for, though you don't see so many like this nowadays. It's probably over 10 years old, certainly over 2 pounds in weight. It's probably 1.5 inches thick. That's beautiful. Well, here I am in the eel trap, surrounded by eels, and look what I've just found. Little baby crayfish. Lovely little creatures. Once upon a time the Wensome used to be full of them. Crayfish share with crabs and lobsters the ability to shed a limb at will, and this one, look at that, he's grown a little tiny pincer there. It'll never be as big as the main one. That's quite cute really. This is a male, but the females keep their berries or their eggs underneath their tail in these, held by these claspers, and they actually stay there until they're about shrimp size, and then they leave the mothers. Crayfish actually swim by propelling themselves backwards like this. Lovely, isn't he? Right, let's put him down. I've already got some eels in the landing net here, and this is quite interesting because at this time of the year when eels are running, there's two distinct types. Although both of these go to market, this is a silver eel. This is one that's really silvered off. It's got a lot of strength as well. I can't hold that one. Let's get hold of him again. There he is. Quite a strong grip if they bite you. This one's got a beautiful silver belly, and he'll be on his way, once we've let him go, into the Sargasso Sea, where they breed in very deep water. A lot of people say that they then die, but of course nobody really knows for sure. And this is a smaller yellow eel. This one is nowhere near ready for sea. It's just got that yellow greeny cast to it. And of course that will be in the river for another couple of years until it starts to run. There we are. Let's put them back. Well, we've had some great fun with roach and bream and that, so I've got my little American bait casting outfit here with a heavy spoon, and I'm going to have a bit of fun in the head of the pool here. You never know what you're going to catch. Very difficult, this. Trying to work out where you don't want to lose your spoon. This sort of place, I expect a snap up quite near me. Actually, it's quite deep in the edge here beyond these. Oh, I've got a little fly on my hand there. It's quite odd here. I've got some Albrecia that doesn't know it's the end of August here. It should be out 3 months ago. Let's let that sink a little bit further. I'm chancing Providence a bit, but never mind. I'll have a go. I've lost lures here before, so I don't want to go too mad. Oh yes, here we are. Oh, it's a good fish as well. Oh, be careful with this one, Wilson. Oh, that really is going. That took that just as it was coming off the snag. Oh, that is a good one. Oh, I don't half go. My wrist's killing me. It's the trouble with these little bait casting rods. If you hit a big one, you. Oh, I haven't had so much enjoyment for ages. You really need a. Let's get down. Let's get me glove. I always keep a glove in my back pocket here for hand lining these out in case the spinner gets. Don't want to lose my fingers. That's a nice looking fish as well. Come on, quietly. Oh no, he's off again. Oh, this is magic. Oh, he's trying to tail walk. I don't know whether I want a 20 pounder on this outfit or not. No, he's off again. Oh. Right, now then. Come on, easy does it. Oh, I hope the hook doesn't come out. He's only just in there. And he's off again. Oh dear. Oh. He's tiring. No, he's tiring now. It's a good fish as well. Definitely a double. Now, come on. Easy does it. Gotcha! And what about that then? Oh, that was a super fight. An absolutely super fight. It's a good fish. That's probably about 14 pounds, and on a little American bait casting rod and a lure. That is terrific. Look at that. Absolutely in mint condition. Look at it. That's how they've got all that streamlined power. Look at those fins. Let's put him straight back. Let go of my hand. Oh, that's why you need a glove. Right. Away you go. Oh. Oh, that was a clonk. Oh, this is a good fish. Oh, that is really going. Oh, it's trying to get under. What on earth is this? It's trying to get under the sluice there. I wonder if it's another big roach. Oh. Oh, this is a good fish. Got to be so careful in this current, not ripping the hook out. feels like a good roach. Oh, yes it is. Oh, I have to be careful pulling this towards the net. So much weed around it. Come on. Yes. Oh. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's a whopping great big roach. Look at that. Oh. I've got line and blanket weed everywhere here. Oh, that is a monster. Hello, the hook's come out. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Look, the hook come out in the net there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I think I'll put that one on the scale straight away. That's absolutely enormous. What I like to do is to, so I don't mess the fish about too much, is to weigh them in this net, because the net only weighs a pound even when it's wet. I've got my scales. Let's just zero that a second. Right, see what this goes. This looks close on 3 pounds. £3, 9 ounces. So a pound for the net, that's £2, 9 ounces, that roach. That's an absolute monster. An absolute monster. Look at it. Isn't that absolutely... Whoops. Careful. Isn't that absolutely glorious? While we've got this one out, let's have a look at the other one and see them both together. Look at that. What a pair of roach. Together, over £5. It's more than any man can ever hope for in a day's fishing. Now that is Weir pool magic.